it's Miss Diana, and today we will be reviewing how to run discrete trials with identifying shapes. As you can see here, I have a variety of different shapes here that I have made. These shapes, I have drawn them out on flashcards, and I colored them and cut them out. And these shapes, I just drew a shape on colored paper and I cut them out. So these are different ways that you can create shapes, okay? You can use different colored construction paper or colored paper, and you can draw out the shape. And then you can have your child working on their coloring inside of the lines. They can color in the shapes that you drew. They can use crayons, markers, colored pencils. And then they can also cut those shapes out as well. And you can use them as materials to run this program. If you have if you have a puzzle that has shapes, you can use those wood puzzles for shapes. That'll work very well with this. I would not use the blocks. I know blocks have different shapes that you can use, but for this purpose, I wouldn't use them because we are working on two-dimensional shapes and we are not working on three-dimensional shapes. So for this purpose, we're only working on the two-dimensional shapes. So the foam blocks or the wooden blocks that have different shapes, it wouldn't work well for this program. Okay, so I will show you how to run the discrete trials. Now, one thing to consider when you're running discrete trials, depending on your child and depending on, as per the teacher, if the teacher says that your child is working on one shape in particular. So if their target is a circle, then you're going to be running trials just on circles. But if the teacher says, no, you can run all of the shapes, a variety of shapes, then you would mix and run your discrete trials on all shapes. Okay, so I will run a trial using a target shape, and then I will run trials on a variety of shapes, and I'll do 3 trials of each. This way you can see. I'm also going to be incorporating in this video a token economy system. So I just drew out 10 circles here. Because many of the students, they work on 10 tokens. Some of them work on 5. You can base up to you depending on how your child is working at home. But if you want to get them motivated to work and then work for something that they really want to work for example, they want to play on their iPad, you can work for 10 tokens and then they can have a break and work on their iPad. If this helps you motivate your child at home, this works well for us in school. So you can try this, and I will show you how to run with token economy. So I will use my target shape that we'll work on. I'll do a square, okay, for an example. Okay, so when you're running a discrete trial, you always want to have a field of 3. Okay, so you're going to present 3 different shapes or 3 different items in front of your child. So like I said, our target shape is a square, okay? And when you ask your child, when you give your child the SD, I should say, when you're giving the SD to your child, you can present it to them in different ways. So this way it's not the same SD over and over. So you can say, find the square, and your child should point. You can say, touch the square, your child can touch it. Or you can say, give me the square, and your child can pick it up and give it to you in your hands. Okay, so we're going to run this. And like I said, the target shape that we're going to work on for the purposes of this video as an example, we'll do the square as a target. Find the square, and they'll find the square, and you will say, good job finding the square, and you give your child a token. And you can say, touch square. Good job touching the square. That's awesome. And you give your child another token. Give me square. And your child gives you the square. Good job. That is a nice job giving me the square. And you go on. So far you have 3 tokens, and this should motivate your child to continue and do more. I'm going to show you what happens in the case your child errors. So I will say, find square, and they pointed to the wrong shape. Then you would go hand over hand, and you will go, this is finding square. And that's how you would go. And you wouldn't give them any token because it's not a correct response. And then you can go again. Find square. Good job. That's finding square. And they get another token. So this is one way that you can run a discrete trial with the target shape. In my case, I use a square as a target shape. And that's how you would incorporate the token economy. Okay, so now I have switched up the shapes, okay? And the square is still going to be our target focus, okay? So I have switched up the shapes. Say, give me square. That's giving me square. Good job. You get a token. Touch square. Good job. Here's a token. And that's how you would run that program. Now I will show you how to run a discrete trial with a variety of different shapes. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to run a discrete trial with any shape. We're not working on any target shape like we did in the first part of this video. We're just going to put our focus on a variety of shapes, okay? And remember, you want to change the SD, not always say the same thing. So again, we can say find, touch, or give me, okay? And they should respond that way. And again, we'll be working on the token economy system. We have already gotten 6 tokens, and we're going to work on the next 4 tokens so that your child can be rewarded and get in school we do a 3-minute break, and you can use a timer for that to kind of put your child back on track so that you get to finish your trials and have them done for the day, so that this way they can have the rest of the day to have any free time or any arts and crafts that you may want to work on with your child or reading a book with them. So if a token board helps motivate your child, you can do that. It works well with us in school. Okay, so I would say, touch circle. Good job, that's touching circle. Nice job. And maybe you can like change the shapes up a little bit. And then you can say, find heart. Good job, that's finding hearts. Good work. Then you can say, give me rhombus. And they'll give you the rhombus. Good job. That's a tricky one. Good job finding rhombus. And then you can just switch up your shapes again. And you can say, find triangle. That's finding triangle. Good job. Look, you have all your tokens. You can go and play. And that's when you would allow them to go and play with whatever preferred or a desired item that they want to. But right now I'm going to show you in case the child does error, you can go, we'll go like this. Find star. And then you will go hand over hand with them. That's finding star. And then you would move on. You wouldn't give them a token. And you would just move on. You could pick a different shape. Or you can even work on the same shape to see if the error correction did work. So, and then you would move on and you would say, give me hearts. And they'll give you the hearts. And then you can say, you would reward them, hey, good job, and give them a token. And you could say, find star. And they find the star this time. And you say, all right, awesome job. And then you would give them another token. So these are all examples of different ways that you can run identifying shapes. And you can incorporate a token board. You can incorporate a token board with any discrete trials that you're doing. It doesn't necessarily have to be this. If you're doing it in a game, then the game itself should motivate the child. But if you're doing this on the table, that's a traditional discrete trial, then you would use a token board. Okay, I hope you try the token board at home. I hope it works out for you. And that it works well with our students. Okay, have a nice day.